basic exercises and consistency will get people way further than almost anything else they can do in the gym. Hey everybody, I thought I would chat with you guys and gals a little bit about this today. These are the topics that I feel like doesn't get discussed enough anymore. When I see the content that's out there, so many people want to have a new gimmick, right? It's always a new supplement, a new exercise. I found this magical exercise that will change everything, or they've always got some biohack. It seems like people are trying to sell or promote a shortcut, and the reality is a lot of times that's just marketing. And what people really do need to hear, they really need to hear, is that most of your results in the gym, right? Most of your results in the gym are going to come from basic exercises, and they're going to come from consistency, okay? Now, I'm talking about gym results, things like body fat. Obviously, your diet's going to be number one. And do not let anyone convince you otherwise. In other words, if anyone is convincing you that they have a special routine that is going to get you ripped, it's just simply not true. We lift weights mainly to gain muscle. They'll improve body composition. You'll gain muscle. Obviously, that helps metabolic rate. Obviously, we burn a few calories from it. But by and large, the biggest chunk of your fat loss results from lifting is going to come from just the increased metabolic rate. And that can get substantial over time, but that is not something that happens in a short period of time. All right, for you to see a really substantial improvement in metabolic rate from working out, you're looking at years, right? You're looking at years. So the whole idea that you're going to necessarily get ripped from what you're doing in the gym, probably not the case, unless they just have you doing hours and hours of cardio. But then again, it's more efficient to just eat less and add more protein. But as far as our gym results themselves, basic exercises. Now, I'm not saying machines can't have their place. No one is making that statement. Not saying machines don't build muscle. Not saying certain smaller, specific isolation exercises don't build muscle, because they obviously can. So let's get that out of the way. But flavor of the month exercises bring nothing to the table. And it's always something new. I don't even know what it is at the moment, but I remember different phases where it was hip thrusts. Then it was above the knee rack pulls, these trends. And am I saying hip thrust can't build muscle? No, I'm not saying that. In fact, pretty decent exercise. Okay? It's pretty decent exercise, but it came into vogue, and I can honestly say that it coming into vogue, you didn't necessarily see on average people getting better physiques from it. You really didn't, or building much better glutes or any of those things. But it's a good exercise, and I'm not knocking it, but it's not a game changer. Sorry, it just isn't. Biomechanics doesn't support it. Data doesn't support it. The above the knee rack pull was always a stupid exercise. Okay. And again, it was debunked long ago. It was a little trendy thing, and then most of the best experts just kind of laughed at it, and then it died out. But people need to remember it was hot for a while. Okay. Same thing. People always, I'm trying to do this carnivore diet or this raw vegan diet. And look, I'm not telling people they shouldn't be eating more whole foods. But remember when we had the whole vogue of the junk food thing with the serious if it fits your macros? Massive internet trend. And I'm not saying counting calories and macros doesn't work. Obviously it can. But for most people, that was not as effective as you would think. Okay? It takes certain personality types to really make that work. So it's not a magic secret. But everyone's looking for these tricks. Okay? The truth is, for most people, basic exercises. Right? And some of them I'm doing are basic in here. It's basic upper body stuff. You're seeing some upright rows, some bench press, weighted pull-ups, some curls. Basic stuff. Lower body things, squats, deadlifts, good mornings, leg presses, Romanian deadlifts. Some standing calf raises, right? These are basic exercises. Doing some tricep extensions, some skull crushers, with an easy bar. These all count as basic exercises. Okay? Other stuff that you're doing isn't necessarily going to be better. People choose to use those things for whatever reason, because at the end of the day, resistance is resistance. But they do require more equipment. They even require working in. So, that's the thing with the basic stuff. If you're doing these all the time, they're part of your program. They can be done just about anywhere. You're not relying upon a specific machine. You're not having to wait for equipment at the gym, because how often are you seeing that? People get so caught up in this individual piece of equipment, instead of just saying, hey, can I do an exercise with a barbell and a dumbbell to work the same movement? It's just a normal part of my routine. As soon as it's broke at the gym, as soon as they're having to wait for stuff, their routine is disrupted. And I've watched that happen for decades, when people decide they have to have that one machine. And then they're not used to stabilizing anything because they're not doing as much free weights. And then they can't have a good workout, okay? Whereas if people mostly just did basic exercises, then work in the small stuff you need. Look, if your side delts need more work, by all means, some lateral raises with a dumbbell or a cable, great. It could be great exercises, okay? Great exercises. You need more upper chest, man, some incline barbell. I like the barbell. But dumbbells, same thing. God, if you need some dumbbell flies, go for it. No one's saying not to. But it's the reliant upon the other stuff that people seem to have, and then they have bad workouts, and I see it, couldn't get a good workout because I couldn't get my normal piece of equipment. Maybe you were just used to basic exercises, you would have got a good workout, because there's probably more than one bench, there's more than one barbell, there's tons of dumbbells probably at almost any gym you go to. I promise you can find a squat rack and a leg press in almost every major gym, okay? Basic stuff. And consistency. Okay, instead of this whole idea, I'm going to find this secret weapon. Why don't you just come in and work really hard for the next 2 or 3 years? Okay, everyone who gets the real results, how many of the influencers people are following with amazing results when you really listen? I've been training for 17 years. That's how often do you hear that? Let's consider the fact oftentimes they're decently genetically gifted. Okay. The guys and gals who are really doing it well as influencers are probably not the average Joe. They have a few gifts. They got a couple of little bonuses in there, or else they probably wouldn't be that successful. Okay, you combine that with them. I've been doing this 17 years. Well, my God, they got consistency. But do you see the difference? They don't have a biohack for you. They don't have a secret. They just been working hard for 17 years. Okay, that's their magic secret, and that's the reality of it. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys and gals next time.